This is episode 2 of the Everything Under the Sun podcast. I'm AJ, and this is Jared.
Hello.
He is a small person. I am a big person.
Very descriptive.
Yeah. Yeah, well, you are shorter than me.
Yeah.
By a lot.
Yeah.
But that's just because I'm taller than everyone by a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, except Shaq and people like that.
Except everyone who's famous for being tall.
Yeah, I'm not. Well, not true. I'm taller than The Rock by 1 inch.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's 6'5", I'm 6'6".
Cool. I haven't Googled any celebrities' heights.
How tall are you?
I don't remember. 5 something.
Oh, well, that sucks.
I'm
So,
gonna guess around 5'9".
so since this is episode 2, I must make a correction. Last podcast, we talked about, we mentioned different kinds of off-roading axles and lift kits. And I couldn't remember what one was called. I thought they were called orbital axles. They are not. They are called portal axles. And they lift up the car higher than the what's it called? The axle. So there is also now a dog present, and we are not recording this in a car, so you might hear a little pause or big pause hitting the ground. And we've actually written down things to talk about this episode. First topic, Jared.
What's the first topic?
Top 5 candies. We haven't
Chocolate.
chocolate. Yeah. I mean, if it's not chocolate, I mean, no one cares about anything that's not chocolate, do they?
People allergic to chocolate would be the only exception.
Yeah. Well, so what are your top 5 candies?
Say Hershey's candy bar, Crunch, Butterfinger.
What Hershey's candy bar are you talking about?
Just
That's your number 1?
No,
That's got wax in it. That's gross.
that's my number 5. I'm counting up number 1.
Oh, okay. No, 1 to 5.
Oh. Well, trying to think of a number 1.
My number 1 is easy, Kit Kat.
Oh.
Then number 2, Butterfinger. And number 3, that one's harder. I am not entirely sure. I'd have to go
think about this.
3 Musketeers. Yeah. 3 Musketeers.
Kinda.
It's good. I like it. I don't like the ones with a lot of caramel on the inside because when they get cold, they're really fucking hard and hard to chew.
You mean just the ones that are chocolate and nougat?
Yeah, I like that. Well, my number 1 is Kit Kat, and it's got wafers on the inside.
Yeah.
Those are good because they don't put fucking wax in the chocolate. And you know why Hershey's puts wax in the chocolate?
No, but it's probably obvious.
It is obvious. And so it doesn't melt in North America because Nestle, or is it Nestle? I think it was
Nestle.
not Nestle, but the other one, Cadbury, started in England. And in England, it's cold enough where you can transport the chocolate without it melting and without you putting fucking beeswax in it. And so they put beeswax. Hershey's puts a tiny little bit of beeswax in their chocolate to make it not melt in North America, where it's a lot hotter than, England.
Well, okay then.
So they don't put wax in their chocolate, or at least Nestle doesn't. I know they don't, but at least not the Kit Kats. And Kit Kats are good.
Yeah, my number 1 would also have to be Kit Kats.
Everybody hates. No, actually, not everybody. A lot of people love Kit Kat, and then Vice, fucking Vice. They like doing the the article headlines that will really piss people off, like some people off. Like they were like, one of them was Kit Kats are trash. Don't at me. And I was just like, fuck you. Kit Kats are delicious. And if you get Japanese Kit Kats, they come in every fucking flavor under the sun.
Yeah, you look at that list, some of it is just weird.
Yeah, like green tea Kit Kats. Everybody says those are the best ones, though. Because they're like white chocolate green tea.
Yeah.
I'm good, though.
I haven't had that.
Either way. Just the original Kit Kats are delicious. But, so, I was on number 4, right? Number 4 was...
Yeah. Number 4 you said was Butterfinger.
No, number 2 is Butterfinger. Number 3 is Three Musketeers. Sorry. Number 4... I don't know what number 4 is. Okay, we'll just do top 3. Let's do top 3. Yeah. Actually, no. Since it's top 5 candies, I can do non-chocolate for number 4.
You can.
What's it called? Those little sour things that you can't bite for shit, and if you try and bite into it, your teeth just sink into it and turns like glues them together.
That's
the flavored ones. The best ones: watermelon, green apple, little hard candies.
Oh, taffy?
No, not taffy. God damn it.
Yeah, I know, but it does make your teeth stick together.
What's it called? Can't remember.
I know what you're talking about, but I can't think of it.
Jolly Rancher.
Yeah.
Jolly Rancher is my number 4. Number 5. I don't know what my number 5 is. Okay, Jared, what are your top 5?
Starting at number 1, Kit Kat, Butterfinger.
You're just copying mine, aren't you?
No, they're good.
Actually, you know what my number 5 is?
What?
It's gonna be. Some people are gonna be like, "What the fuck? That's not good." But I always thought it was. I thought it was shitty just because it sounds like Health Bar, but Heath Bar.
Heath Bar those are delicious. Good. Those are really good.
They're just what is that?
It's like
peanut brittle or something like that.
Yeah.
Peanut brittle covered in chocolate. Yeah, Heath Bars are good. They'll destroy your teeth though. So those are my top 5. So finish your top 5.
Let's see. It was Kit Kat, Butterfinger, and then third one, Crunch.
Crunch bar?
Yeah.
Like the Hershey's one?
Yeah. They're good.
Yeah. Are they called Crackle or Crunch? I think they're Crunch.
I'm pretty sure they're Crunch.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's go with Hershey Cups.
Hershey. Oh no. Yeah, I
Reese's Cups. Sorry,
I forgot about Reese's peanut butter cups.
Yeah,
those are good. But yeah, I wouldn't put them in my top 5. That'd be like a number 6, just because I'm not a huge fan of their peanut butter. Their peanut butter is.
I started to like them more than I used to.
Plus, the peanut butter gets stuck in your teeth because it's really sugary peanut butter.
It is.
But yeah. So what else?
And number 5.
You said was just for normal Hershey's chocolate. But
yeah, just normal Hershey's.
But that's so shitty. I don't like it.
I'll eat it just because
it tastes horrible. You know the worst thing though? What are they? The lollipops with the chocolate.
What's the Tootsie Roll?
Tootsie Roll. Tootsie Pops and Tootsie Rolls are disgusting. Fuck Tootsie Rolls. I hate them. I don't know how anybody can like them. They don't taste good at all.
No.
They actually taste bad. Like they actively taste bad. But so just showing how unhealthy we are. Our top 5 candies.
I will eat Tootsie Rolls, but they are not my choice candy.
Yeah.
Not even close.
What's your top 5 foods? None of them are popular for me. I mean, except one. One is super popular, but the rest are like stuff my mom makes.
That you just remind me of that green bean casserole.
Oh yeah, it's not.
That's good.
Except It's not made with mushroom soup. That stuff, green bean casserole made with
No.
mushroom soup is disgusting. It's made with a bacon, onion, sautéed onion roux instead of mushroom soup.
Yeah, something like that. We have to ask her to
Make that again. Yeah.
and teach us how to make it.
Yeah. And then you just pour that over the green beans, and then you throw a bunch of cheese on, and you throw it in the oven, and it's fucking delicious.
Oh yeah.
And
There's never leftovers of that.
Yeah. So bacon instead of mushrooms, and basically that's how you get that umami flavor.
Let's see. That would be probably up by number 1.
Yeah.
If not number 1.
No, actually, my number 1 for stuff my mom makes is her braid. Have you had the braid?
I don't think so.
It's like chicken and it's like almost like her chicken salad, just instead with what is it? She does one with broccoli and tomatoes, and that one's my favorite. But she also does one with broccoli and green pepper or red bell pepper, and then she does one with tomato and green bell pepper, and all those other spices. And the way she makes it, and then you use croissant dough and you make a braid out of it, and it's just fucking delicious. Yeah,
Man, I have to try that.
So good. I could eat it would take up an entire pan, and I could eat a whole fucking pan of it by myself because it's that good. It is so good. What else? Well, obviously pizza's on there.
Yeah.
Pizza's just too good to not be on there.
Yeah, but I feel like there's gonna be something that puts it toward 4 or 5.
Yeah, it's probably 3 for me. Just because I love pizza, and pizza loves me. But you have to get good pizza. It's not just any fucking pizza.
Not all pizza is equal.
Yeah, not all pizzas are made the same. Not all pizzas are created equal. Especially not under the law. The law states that Dion's Pizza is number 1 in Albuquerque.
Yeah.
Yeah. We talked about that last time. But New York style pizza is probably the best. Because I'm not a huge fan of deep dish, but deep dish pizza, a good deep dish pizza can be appreciated. Because of that caramelization that happens on the side. That's really good. And then, so that was my number 3 pizza. Number 4.
I'm still working on my number 1, if that's not green bean casserole.
My number 2 is green bean casserole. My number 1 is the braid.
I haven't had the braid, so I can't say that.
Number 4. What is my number 4? I don't know. I don't know what my number 4 is right now.
This is a lot harder than we thought it would be.
Yeah, I know. I'm just listing them is actually really hard. Because you got to be objective, but...
And you're going to forget one.
Yeah. I forgot about that. No. Yeah. It's, I can't even think of what the best one is.
No.
What's your number 2?
If green bean casserole is number 1, then the number 2...
Oh, number 4 for me. Sorry. Right when you start saying... Yeah, I know. Really? It happens when I'm not thinking about it. It's kind of like how if you're making a decision and you can't choose which decision, flip a coin and then catch it and then think which side you wish it's going to be, and then that's the one you should go with no matter what the coin says. But my number 4 is a good Philly cheesesteak.
Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, there's so many good foods, aren't there?
Yeah.
And then number 5, it's actually from a restaurant. And you can only get it at that restaurant. I mean, you can probably get it at other places, but they make it so good. It is the Slotchke's original sandwich. Have you ever had that?
I might have.
It's so good. It's just a sandwich, but the bread is so good. They put black olives and ham and I think it's not pastrami, but what is it? Salami on it, and then lettuce and tomato, and it's just a simple sandwich. Except the bread is so airy and so light and so crispy and good and it's delicious, and it doesn't seem like a sandwich. It seems like a, I don't even know how to describe it. It's so fucking good. Yeah, it's Slotsky's
It sounds
original
good, but I don't
sandwich
think I've
is
had
super
that
good.
one.
Yeah, so that's my number 5. I mean, unless there's something else out there. I'm not gonna put spaghetti because it's just so usual. I mean, spaghetti's delicious. Don't get me wrong, but it's so usual. I mean, you can't
It's
be
like
your top 5.
Yeah.
It can be like your top 10. Ooh, now I'm thinking of Italian foods. Like, dang, we could talk all the whole podcast about foods. Maybe we should do your top 5, and then we'll move on.
Okay. Let's see. The green bean casserole.
Mm-hmm.
Then
remember, not with
mushrooms
soup.
It's bacon.
Yeah, bacon.
And then, man, Philly cheesesteak. I'm gonna put about 3.
Okay.
What's the second one?
It's gotta be something.
I know.
And for my number 3, it was pizza, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, pizza. It that encompasses all pizzas, because I mean, not all pizzas are created equally, but that includes all styles of pizza, like New York deep dish, bar pizza, which is super flat and crispy. All those kinds of pizzas.
Okay. Let's see. My pizza's also on mine, but it's probably
like a 5.
Yeah. So 2 and 4. What foods? This is so difficult. No foods are in my brain right now.
You want to come back to it later?
Yes, I will think about this over the episode and figure it out at the end.
Okay. Well,
let's see if we actually come back to that.
Well, the other topic I wrote down is we've had a plan for fucking ever. Like, since how old?
Let's just say it's at least 7 years old. Or the plan
when did we start living together?
We started living together when I was 7.
Oh yeah, for those of you who don't know, which is everyone, unless you know us, which is probably half the people listening to this podcast
at this point.
Jared and I are cousins, and we started living together in like 2008? No, 2007.
No, it was late 2006.
Oh, dang.
And that was a while.
Yeah. So, yeah. Yeah, I was, I think, 9 or 8. No, 2006, I was 8, and you were 6. Okay, so I think we made this plan not when we were in Temecula, but when we were here in Albuquerque, but right when we moved into Albuquerque.
Yeah.
Specifically, when we shared a room together.
Yeah.
When, you remember, we had bunk beds and shit.
It's about that time.
Because his mom was my mom's sister, and they moved in together when our parents got divorced. So, we don't live together now, but, that was a while ago.
Yeah. So, the plan.
The plan that we've had many plans, let's be honest.
Lots. This is the only one that's actually lasted for a while.
Lasted for a long time. It is living on a sailboat for a while, because that sounds like fun. Living on a sailboat.
It would be fun.
I think we should still do it. Like, let's invigorate. I don't know. Reinstitute this plan.
Yeah.
Because it's a good plan. Just, it's not super expensive. It's a little. You'd save a little money over, depending where you are, over like renting an apartment.
Yeah. There's multiple ways to save up enough money to get a big boat.
Yeah, you could get a like a 30, not a 30, not a 30, like a 40-foot boat, maybe a 35, but
probably you can't really start there. You have to start smaller, and then you can actually sell the boat for more.
Well, yeah, but
that is a way to do it.
Or would you do a 35-foot boat? I think you could live on a 35-foot boat.
Yeah, because
you gotta basically turn the boat into an RV.
Yeah.
Or an apartment on the water.
question is, do you want a single hull or a catamaran?
Well, catamarans are super expensive no matter how small they are.
True, but they are awesome.
Yes, they are awesome, but they're super expensive no matter how big they are. I was thinking like a sloop or something like that. But the Turkish sloop, like, or is it sloops or like the Turkish sailboats? They do Turkish or in the what's it called, Mediterranean. They do like basically cruises on these 45-foot long sailboats, and and they're all wood, and they look amazing, and they're awesome.
Yeah.
And they have like sunshades covering the entire boat, just different layers of sunshades, and that's like the perfect boat. That would be the perfect boat to live on. Because, I mean, people pay to live on it for like a week at a time while they sail around the Mediterranean. Yeah. But what really drives me to want to live on a sailboat is so that we can literally go anywhere, anytime we want.
Yeah.
And take everything you have. I mean, except like a car. But you can take like a motorcycle on a freaking boat.
Yeah. You can travel pretty much anywhere. Most places.
And you can live for free, essentially. Not entirely free, but you can just, instead of actually paying like a dock fee, if you're traveling, you can just moor outside of a harbor for free, and then there you go. You got a boat. Now the problem is hurricanes.
Keep very close
attention
observation on the news.
Yeah, you always look at the weather if you're living on a sailboat, because you may have to sail.
You may have to move
very quickly.
Yeah,
but good thing about hurricanes is they pick up the wind, so you can go really fast. Yeah, or destroy your boat. But tomato, right? But yeah, that's like because Jared and I. At least I don't know about Jared, but I've always wanted to be able to travel and see the world and stuff.
Yeah, it's good to see different cultures and different places and everything that's different.
Yeah, without like going to the tourist traps and shit.
Yeah.
Because if you're just gonna go, oh, I'm gonna go to fucking Paris, and which essentially, if you're going to Europe, you have to either go to Paris or London first. And then go out from there, and a lot of people don't, because it's like, it's Paris, you saw France, you're good. No, New York is not America. New York is part of America, and if you want to see all of America, you got to go in a little bit.
Exactly.
Same with every other country. You can't just go to Paris and say, oh, I saw France, I'm good.
Yeah, because they're different all over the place.
Yeah, like or I really want to go to Madrid.
Yeah.
Or like Portugal, which is right next to Spain.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that one. I want to see a lot of European countries, mainly the Mediterranean, and I want to pick up how they eat, because they live forever. They live regularly into their hundreds there, so they have the Mediterranean diet is the healthiest diet. And if you can pick up how they eat, then you can live a long time, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I want to see Africa, but I don't want to see Somalia. Because don't go around the Horn of Africa if you're in the sailboat. Go the other way.
Yeah.
Go down the east side of Africa.
Yeah, I haven't really thought a whole lot about where I would want to go.
I mean,
just
the Asian,
a lot of places,
the South Asian islands, those Pacific islands. Those are cool and nice, and there's actually American islands there, like American Samoa and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and then you can go to Australia and have fun there, and you can even get a job there where you get paid $20 an hour to watch a cone, because their minimum wage is like $17.
Yeah, I don't know.
They pay really well there, and they also have a lot of jobs. available.
Mm.
And it's just a cool country.
Yeah, and just about all of it is not populated.
Yeah, don't go to the middle. Stay on the beaches.
Yeah,
that's the one exception to that rule. Stay on the beaches.
Stay in the Sydney-ish area.
Yeah, because like if you go inland,
there's a little bit of mountains near there. You can see that.
Yeah,
and that's like the extensive civilization.
Yeah, because if you go inland, there's a lot of flies
and giant spiders
and snakes and stuff.
Everything that wants to kill you.
Yeah. I mean, technically, it's not super dangerous because only 2 people have died in the past while from spider bites. But snake bites, different story.
Yeah. And then there's still deadly things on the beach, but
yeah,
they're not
like sharks.
Well, no, not sharks, but what are they called?
Well, you're not likely to be
fish.
killed by a shark.
Rockfish.
But they've got a lot of deadly things there. But most shark attacks happen in Australia, even though there's like no shark attacks ever. But most of them happen in Australia.
Yeah.
You're more likely to be struck by lightning than get attacked by a shark. But apparently, you're more likely if you're in Australia. Just like you're more likely to be struck by lightning if you're standing on top of a mountain holding a pole in the sky during a thunderstorm. But you know, it's a good plan. You know, you can see everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can't really go north very much because it's a little cold and you don't have a lot of insulation, especially in cold waters.
Oh yeah, you need a special boat for that. Yeah,
but in hot places, you got the cold water on the boat, which keeps the cabin somewhat cold in really hot weather, so you won't overheat basically until global warming kills us all. But you know what's great about living on a sailboat? Don't got to worry about rising sea levels.
Oh yeah,
just more territory, right?
Yep.
I mean, less places the more your boat because all the docks will be
more places that flood, more places you can sail.
Yeah. But
that takes a very long time.
Yeah. 100 years.
Yeah, but, it's still a long time. But
speaking of living 100 years, we never really went into nanobots last podcast.
We meant to, but we didn't.
Yeah. Nanobot, well, there's a guy named Ray Kurzweil. And he's he's like the original, not the original, but he's one of the original futurists. And he's made 80%. He made a bunch of predictions back in like the 80s, and 80% of them have come true.
Oh, I think I've heard of this guy.
Yeah.
Just forget their names.
Yeah, we're bad with names. We're terrible with names. If we meet you and you tell us your name, I'm not gonna remember it. Remember your face, and I'll know that I've met you, and I'll know exactly where I met you. Just won't remember the name.
Yeah.
At all. But yeah, Ray Kurzweil, he predicts that people in the next 20 years you'll be able to live forever because of nanotechnology. And basically you'll be able to pull out some device, basically the future equivalent of your smartphone, and or you'll just be able to control it in your head. Which would be weird, but or you'll be able to hallucinate having a phone in your hand. It'll basically make you be able to connect to the internet with your brain, which is what Elon Musk is trying to do with Neuralink. Because it's a lot better than, in the Matrix having that plug in the back of your head. Like people think, oh, you'll be able to connect to the internet with your brain. You'll have to connect Ethernet to your frickin' skull. No. You will be able to connect through Wi-Fi and nanobots, and you'll just get like a shot, kind of like in Black Mirror. Mm-hmm. Have you seen all Black Mirror, though?
I've seen season 1 through 3 and part of 4. I haven't finished 4 yet.
You need to finish 4, because holy shit. Have you seen Crocodile?
Yes.
That's the one where they, read your memories for not crimes, well, also crimes.
Yeah, where she kills a bunch of people and tries to cover it up by killing more people.
Yeah, and forgets about the hamster.
Yeah.
She gets caught from the frickin' hamster.
Yep.
That's hilarious. And dark. And probably not possible, but maybe possible if you have the nanobots. Yeah. But then there would have to be a lot of like protections against surveillance and stuff. If you don't want, the government to be able to say, "Oh, we gotta take your data from your head." Oh, you were thinking this? Shame on you. That's good. Those will literally be thought crimes.
Yeah.
And currently, thought crimes are illegal in the United States, but not in all places. Like, in Germany, thought crimes aren't illegal. You're not allowed to be a Nazi. And that's a thought crime. Because you can think, Nazis are right. Yeah. There you go, you're illegal. You now must be arrested for being a Nazi. Now, don't get me wrong, I fucking hate Nazis. Nazis are, like the guy who punched that one Nazi in the face, everybody was like, you shouldn't punch Nazis. Then what the fuck are Nazis for? They're there to be punched in the face. Like, fuck Nazis. But, you shouldn't be arrested for being a Nazi. You should be punched in the face for being a Nazi.
Yeah.
We are not advocating violence against anyone except Nazis. We're just kidding, but, Nazis deserve to be punched in the face. Not by us or any of you, but by someone.
Yeah.
Of their own volition. I mean, we in World War II, we killed Nazis. So, I mean, saying that Nazis should be punched in the face is not too... like, if you were back in 1945, if you said, I want to punch those Nazis in the face, you'd be like, you're kind of tame. Like, we want to kill those Nazis.
Yeah.
But now you can, it's illegal to advocate violence. And, yeah. So we're not advocating violence, except against Nazis. But, yeah. So, in Germany, it's illegal to be a Nazi and fly the Nazi flag. But, in my opinion... Like, all those people who want to fly the Confederate flag and the Nazi flag, go right the fuck ahead. Do that. So I'll know which houses to avoid on Halloween. We don't actually still go trick-or-treating, though. We're a little old for that.
Yeah. People look at us weird.
Yeah. Well, they started looking at us weird when we were, like, 13.
Yeah, I know.
It's like, aren't you a little old to be fuck you. I
will dress up and get free candy. That's fun.
Or you can just wait until the day after Halloween and buy all the candy you want.
Well, yeah, you can do that too.
Or just not hand out a lot of candy. Buy candy as if you're going to hand it out and then not hand it all out.
Yeah.
Specifically Kit Kats.
All the good ones.
Call back. But back to sailboats.
How the heck did we get off of sailboats again? Nanobots.
Nanobots. Okay, never mind. Back to nanobots. You'll be able to, like, go on your phone or your future equivalent of phone and just, like, check your stats. Like, oh, why is my knee hurting? Check your phone. Oh, that's why my knee's hurting. Okay, well, fix that. Yes, I'd like to fix that. Press a button. There you go. It's fixed. Your knee no longer hurts. And whatever was hurting your knee no longer is hurting your knee. But what I think is cooler is being able to go into a augmented or virtual reality just by closing your eyes.
Oh, yeah, that'd be cool.
But also the augmented reality when your eyes are open.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you'll be able to look around and just, know who, like, for example, I can't remember anybody's name.
Yeah.
You'll be able to look at someone's face, and it'll tell you their name. It's like, oh, hey, Joe, I remember you. Yeah, so it'll be very useful, and speaking of virtual reality, though, what is it? That new, what's his name? Names. Best director ever.
Oh.
you know, old Jewish guy. He directed everything. He directs a lot of Tom Hanks movies. You can't remember either?
No.
What's it? Okay, he directed the first, and I think more than the first, Jurassic Park.
Oh.
He directed Schindler's List. He directed a lot of good shit. I can't remember his name. People are just yelling at us in the comments right now. His name is... No. He's got a movie coming out, though, soon, which is about virtual reality. And if you're listening to this podcast about the time or past when it comes out, you'll know how good it is. Because it looks really good. What the fuck is it called? Just look up Jurassic Park. Because...
What the heck? Full screen ad? That's not fair. If anyone knows what these full screen ads are about, comment 3 times.
Yes.
And tell me exactly what those are.
Well, you just need to update your phone, because you have... What's your phone again?
It's the Moto X 2nd gen, and I know it's old. They stopped updating it a while ago. And
When was that made? Like 2014? 2015? 14?
14?
14?
13, 14, something right.
It still feels like 2012, because that's the year the world ended.
Yeah.
Remember? Like, when it was 2012, it's like, oh shit, it's 2012. The world's going to end. And that didn't. Or maybe it did. Because it still felt like 2012 until now. It still feels like 2012.
Yeah.
Maybe that's just because that's when I turned 14, so... And yes, we are very, like, people are saying,
Spielberg.
Steven Spielberg. God damn, that was... Couldn't think of it at all.
How the heck did we not remember it?
I don't know. But, yeah, what's the name of the movie he's got coming out?
Hang on.
It's about virtual reality, and all the poor people are now living... Plus... The one issue I have with that movie is that everybody's using, like, current...
Ready Player One.
Ready Player One. It's it looks really good, but the one problem I have with it is everybody's using the goggles. Like, no one's going to use the goggles in the future, especially when this is supposed to be set, like, 100 years in the future. No one's going to be using goggles. This is all going to be nanobots in their head. And that'll be super easy. And you'll be able to... And everybody's driving, like, racing DeLoreans and shit.
That'd be cool.
But, like, virtual reality, I think, will be a lot more interesting than they make it out to be.
Mm-hmm.
You'll be able to... Like, they make a bunch of references to movies that Steven Spielberg has directed. And in that movie. Like, and it looks good, but it doesn't look accurate at all. If you were being accurate, it'd be more like what's that one Arnold Schwarzenegger movie that they remade, where he goes to Mars and he pretends to be a spy, but he's actually a spy.
I don't know.
Shit, look it up. I guess you are the Brian Red Band.
Yeah,
great. Or is it Red Band? I know it's Red Band now. I looked it up since the last one. But is he the guy who looks up stuff? Because I thought he was the guy who looks up stuff, but maybe he's not. Maybe it's another guy who looks up stuff. It might be multiple people on Joe Rogan's podcast who look up things. But, gotta get water.
Total Recall?
Yeah, Total Recall. That is a much more accurate version of virtual reality. Except it's not virtual reality because he's in the real world.
Yeah, but the technology for that kind of virtual reality has to evolve.
Yeah.
Not just the hardware, but also the rendering and.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But I do know there's a company, I think it's based in Australia, but I forget their name, that's working on a completely new technology. Where, like, so basically how animation works is that they have vertices that are connected by faces, and the faces have a texture on them. And they're throwing that away and just making it with point clouds, like just a bunch of atoms floating in space, and they can be positioned to make actual, like, real textures that are bumpy. Because what if you do that on a face, in VR, it doesn't look right, because it's a photo that just tells the light how to bounce off of it. But when you have two eyes looking at it, it doesn't match and it just looks flat.
Well, that'll be interesting.
I'm not even sure how they can process that many things without a quantum computer.
Well, quantum computers don't work like that, do they? Not yet.
They can work. They can work like that eventually.
With qubits and shit?
Yeah. But they claim they can have infinite atoms in a scene.
Okay, then. Well, that's
which is hard to believe.
Yeah.
Because I don't even know how it works, and it's hard to find information on how this works.
Well, yeah, because it's they haven't released it yet, obviously.
No, but they do actually have VR arcades in Australia.
Well,
using this technology, which is so weird.
I just can't wait to be able to think like every time we think, we're currently thinking like, we can't remember things, right?
Yeah, you just be able to remember Steven Spielberg's name.
Yeah, you'd be able to remember every single movie he's ever done, and be able to remember every scene in those movies, because you'd be able to watch it instantly like that.
Yeah.
And that'll be the day. Yeah, I can't wait for that.
Just download information.
Yeah, exactly. Like in The Matrix, how he downloads how to do karate. I mean, I would download how to do Krav Maga, but whatever, because that is actually a useful fighting style, which is super brutal. It's just like, how do you kill someone instantly? Like, how do you kill someone who's holding a gun to your face?
Yeah. Well, you don't even actually have to download it. You just have to access it.
Yeah.
So if you download, you will overload your memory.
No, not really. Because that's not how memory works.
Well, there has to be limits. There has to be.
Not because... Well, no, because it's association memory, which we have not created. Our current memory, memory in computers is like ones and zeros and remembering every single piece. Yeah. We do associate, and now they're making computers that work more like this for AI and stuff. Where it's association memory, where it's like, it's an infinite number of association. Every single neuron in your brain can associate with a different neuron. So you multiply. It's exponential memory instead of additional memory. Like, instead of, if you take a bit, 2 bits is just 2 bits. It's not. Or if you have...
It's not enough to make a letter.
Yeah, if you have 10 bits, that's just 10 bits. But with 10 neurons, that's 10 times 10. So that's 100 processing units. Yeah. Or is it 100, or is it 10 to the 10th power? I can't remember.
It's a lot more if it's 10 to the 10th.
Yeah, if it's 10 to the 10th, then that's just an excessive number. But it might actually be 10 to the 10th, because...
that's crazy, because you're talking...
Because we still have not created a... well, no, we're talking 10 neurons.
But, and there's a lot more than that.
Yeah, there's a lot more than that, but we still have yet to create a computer that has the same processing and memory power as our brains. However, our brains are very inefficient at remembering things.
And you can't remember precise details that computers might need to.
Yeah. Like, you can remember general things.
Yeah,
and then you can expand on those things and remember most of it.
Yeah, you can remember how your living room looks, but you can't remember precisely the wrinkles in your couch or the books in the order of what is on your bookshelf.
Yeah, but you can remember, the general idea
exactly
of the living room, like where things are and what, and then you can remember everything that went on in that room.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to methodically go through it. And it's very... Have you ever sat down and just tried to remember your entire life from beginning to end?
I have. I get stuck in places.
Yeah, it's like, damn, I can't remember past that. What happened then?
Yeah.
And you remember, like, tidbits. It's like...
you go back and try to remember your first memory?
I remember my first memory. It's falling out of a crib.
Oh.
Or that I climbed out of.
I don't think I have memories that far back.
Yeah. It was like maybe 3 or 4. I can't remember. But I climbed out of a crib and fell, and it hurt.
I remember burning my finger very well.
Yeah, well, you can remember basically your entire life if you try. There are people who remember everything, every little detail of every little thing. And it doesn't destroy their brain, but it gives them PTSD if they ever have traumatic events. Mm-hmm. Like if they were ever to get in a car crash, they would remember that car crash exactly the same every single day. And they remember it every single day. So every time they were in a car and they saw something similar to that car crash, they'd be like, oh, car crash. And they experienced the car crash exactly how they experienced it, even though, you're not experiencing a car crash.
Well, it's just memory. It's triggered by an event.
Yeah, and that can be... That's how PTSD works.
Exactly.
But for most people, it has to be a super traumatic event. For people who have that, I guess, disability, but also ability to remember every detail, it's a traumatic... Any slightly traumatic event they remember, no matter what. Mm-hmm. Like, you ever look back and go, oh, why the fuck did I do that?
All the time.
Like one little
every
thing
freaking day.
Like, why the fuck did I do that? Like, that's their entire life. And then if anything triggers what that a traumatic event, then you're fucked. Because then you just go back into it and you can't control it. So you can remember everything. You can remember the entire internet and everything on it. And that would not be very hard.
Yeah, you could.
That's how we learn history, Jared. Plus, with an overlayer of, like, the way our brain works is it has different cortexes. And you got the prefrontal cortex, which is the one that makes us, or the upper level of the brain, which...
I forget the cortexes.
Yeah, the lower levels are like our monkey brain, our ape brain, even though apes have the upper level too, but it's much smaller.
Yeah.
Basically, it's the part that like insects have and smaller animals.
So for like movement and basic thought.
Yeah, like you got your brainstem, which is what insects have, and they're just reactionary. They just, or what ants have, and they just go about their doing their shit, and then you have reactionary brain, where it reacts to stimuli, and then you got planning brain, or like like a planning brain, and then you have
to be able to think ahead.
Yeah, and then you have the abstract thought part of your brain, which is what we have, a very large portion of our brain, and it's basically what Elon Musk and Neuralink and a bunch of other people are trying to do is make a digital overlay to make another cortex that's connected to the internet that can up our processing power even more. Like right now, you can't up your processing power because the size of your head is limited. Like if you, it's very detrimental to having a big brain is very detrimental to survival in other kind of in the wild. And we're very lucky that we got out of that.
Yeah.
and it's very. People say, the Fermi paradox. I'm going to go off on another tangent.
Okay.
I have a serious problem with the Fermi paradox because it's not right. It isn't right at all. And it was invented by the guy. His name was Fermi, but.
Can you say it real quick because I've probably heard of it, but I can't remember the name.
Fermi paradox is where there's billions, if not trillions, of galaxy or planets and galaxies and billions of planets that can hold life.
Mm-hmm.
And if intelligent life if there's intelligent life on every single one of those planets, then there should be tons of life out there, and so therefore there must be a great barrier in front of us that keeps us from being able to travel or survive a long time or travel out into the universe. And there may be some hurdles, such as weapons and trying to kill everyone.
Mm-hmm.
And we've for the most part gotten past that.
Mostly, not completely.
We still have nuclear weapons. Once we hit nuclear disarmament and world disarmament, really, where there's no militaries anymore, or national militaries, you can have
a world military.
Yeah, you can have the UN.
Planetary military.
Yeah, basically, like in Star Trek.
Yeah, they've got a military.
Well, no, they're in exploration, but they act like
they have a military.
Yeah, they act like they have a military, but they call it an exploratory organization for science, but they act like a military.
Well, no, there's Starfleet, and then there's an actual military that does not like Starfleet.
There is?
Yeah.
I haven't watched all the Star Trek, so I don't know what I'm talking about.
I've watched a lot of Star Trek.
Oh, well.
There is a military.
Then you know more than I do. But, yeah, what's it called?
What exactly?
The military.
Oh.
Star Trek.
I don't know. It's you got the security folk, but they're not even close to the military.
But there are no national militaries in Star Trek.
No, because there's no nations.
No, that makes sense. Do you think we'll ever move to that?
United Earth?
Yeah. Maybe.
Hopefully. I really.
We've gotten really close. We've got the UN, and we've got United, and we've got EU.
But the Star Trek level of no currency would be difficult.
Yeah, that's a resource-based economy, and we're very far from that. First, you got to implement a universal basic income, and then go to a resource-based economy. But that's way in the future.
We can make replicators and whatever. Then
yeah, if you can just create food and really everything just from elementary particles, then you're good.
Mm-hmm.
But so far we can't do that. We're getting close with 3D printers. 3D printers were the first step.
We tried to figure out how one of these things might actually work.
It would just lay down atoms on top of atoms very precisely.
Yeah, but we were starting with the idea that it builds the atoms and then constructs the structure out of atoms. And we were trying to figure out what a bin of electrons would look like.
Mm-hmm.
But that would be very difficult because they all have the same charge, so it
would just be electricity.
They would fly out away from each other.
Well, it would be electricity stored in a battery or a superconductor or something like that.
Yeah, basically. Something like that.
Or you could just, it doesn't matter right now. We're not even close.
Neutrons would be the easiest to contain.
Yeah. Because they're neutral.
Exactly.
But the problem I have with the Fermi paradox is it doesn't take into account how fucking rare humans are. We're the first intelligent species that uses tools to create things. There are other intelligent species like dolphins and elephants, but they're not nearly as...
And beavers build dams and stuff, and they live in them, but they don't use tools to do so.
Yeah, they use their teeth, and they're like, teeth are fine. But we created things to create other things, to create other things, to create even more things.
Exactly, and we have no idea what those first things were, and if everything collapses, then
so
we're in trouble.
So, but, you don't think, to create this building, you needed a forklift and a crane and a and a backhoe. And all those things were created by other tools, which were created by other tools, which were created by other tools,
which leads all the way
by
back
other tools.
Which leads all the way back to a rock tied to a stick.
Yeah, exactly. And it's the evolution of the tool. But we're the only species Earth has ever seen to use tools to create other tools. Other animals, like there's a bird and there's certain monkeys that use sticks to open things or rocks to open things. So they're using things as tools to do a task, but they're not using things to create things to do a task.
Yeah.
So that's another level of abstract learning that you have to create. And if you take into account how rare humans are, plus the fact that we've only existed for 200,000 years, and the fact that the universe is billions of years old.
The Earth is a couple billion years less old.
Yeah, there very well could have been other... and we've only been looking for intelligent life for like 100 years.
Yeah.
And
we didn't even know there were other planets outside the solar system more than 100 years ago.
Yeah, so we've only been looking for a minuscule amount of time. And what's to assume that there weren't other
advanced
cultures in the universe, but they destroyed themselves, or we may be one of the first in the galaxy. Plus, if you take into account how rare intelligent life actually is, and how rare life that will create tools is, and if you calculate that, apparently it's like 1.5 intelligent species per galaxy. And you can only search for super closely, at least we can, 100 light years away. That's barely anything.
Yeah.
We can't even see if planets less than 100 light years away if they have life on them. So how are we supposed to see these things how are we supposed to tell if there's life on the other side of the frickin' universe?
Yeah. We can only, with telescopes and the things blocking the sunlight from those solar systems, we can only see so far.
Yeah, and
it's not very far.
Yeah, and we're putting more and more telescopes out there that are larger and larger, but
James Webb's gonna be cool.
Yeah, we need bigger telescopes though. Like, we'd need a telescope the size of a planet to be able to see far enough to actually see another.
That reminds me of a bunch of observatories around the planet pointed their telescopes at the center of the galaxy for like, I don't remember how long. I'm gonna say a month.
Mm-hmm.
And they were trying to get enough data to compile of one picture of a black hole.
Mm-hmm.
And they're still doing that. They're still compiling the data because each telescope had to send in multiple terabytes of information.
Well, that's fun. But yeah, so and if you calculate all that information, not what Jared was talking about, but all the information.
We just keep going off on things.
Yeah. But all the information, if you calculate it, all those assumptions that, intelligent life that creates tools to create other tools and evolves far enough and doesn't kill itself in the process to create radio frequencies, you'd come to like 1.5 per galaxy. And we know of one.
Mm-hmm.
So there may be another one there may be two in another galaxy, but in our galaxy there may be just us.
On average, that's one or two in a galaxy.
One or two in a galaxy. So we haven't been able to create the technology to look closely enough at other galaxies to see if they have life on other planets. But we have for close planets to us, and we have found that they probably don't have life on them. Or they may have
observe the atmospheres, and that's pretty much the only way we.
Or they probably don't have intelligent life, but apparently Alpha Centauri probably has no life anymore, because it was just bombarded by a solar flare.
Oh, jeez.
Or at least 4 years ago it was. But we just saw it.
Well, yeah, because that's how light works.
Yeah, but it was bombarded by a massive solar flare that would strip of its atmosphere.
That would suck to live on that planet and know that that's coming.
Yeah. Well, you can't know what's coming because it's the speed of light.
Yeah, I know, but you can like predict that it's going to happen based on the light that's happens before it.
Yeah. So they're fucked. If there was life on that planet, it's gone, and it just happened. That's insane. That makes you realize, oh shit, our sun could just up and burp us out of existence at any point in time it wants.
Yeah, and then they'd only have like 0.5 civilizations in the galaxy.
Yeah, in our galaxy, exactly. But so that's why Elon Musk is correct. We do need to become a multiplanetary species.
Mm-hmm. For Mars, we're further away. It's safer, except we have to terraform.
But what I like the idea of is that if we go out to all the stars or all the planets that can hold life, our kind of life, in the galaxy, and we populate it, and then in say 1,000 years, each species will be slightly different, or each human society
there
will be slightly
new
different.
races.
There will be new races and new species in the future.
Yeah.
So, but they'll be able to, I guess, intermingle, also known as mate.
I'm pretty sure that's actually how you define a species.
It's
no, in the definition of species.
No, because a horse is not the same species as a donkey, and they can mate.
Yeah.
So, that's how you make a mule. But mules can't have kids, so. But, slightly closer, and they would be able, like a mule and a horse can have kids, and they can have kids.
But after enough time,
it'll just become a horse.
I mean, in planetary.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. It'll eventually become a completely different species that cannot no longer mate.
Yeah.
However.
But hopefully, someone kept track of information and tied it all back to us.
Yeah. Exactly. That's what that's what they sent off on the.
On the Tesla.
On the Tesla, that little crystal with
the 5-dimensional storage.
Yeah, you'll be able to store. And the company that's making those is trying to make an interplanetary internet.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. I mean, it would take forever for you to update
how much data can fit on those things, too.
Now, if you can send information using faster than light particles, then you'd be able to...
quantum entanglement.
Well,
quantum.
What were those faster than light particles that they were trying to find in that one cave? They move faster than light always.
I don't remember.
You don't have to look it up.
I'd want to look it up because I want to know.
But if you could send information with those, you could send information instantly to anywhere because it's faster than light.
Yeah.
And therefore, you'd be sending it. Once you sent it, it would be there. Because that's how time works. But yeah, no. If you have that, then you'll be able to have an actual Star Trek and an actual space fleet where it's like different. Like one species will have slightly pointed ears, and there you go.
Yeah. Devilish Vulcans.
What?
Devilish Vulcans. They say that sometimes.
Oh.
Spock is often referred to as the devil by McCoy.
Oh. Oh yeah. Well, I haven't seen.
Only missing the tail.
When are they going to make another Star Trek movie?
That is I'm pretty sure that's supposed to be directed by Quentin Tarantino.
No, that's the Star Wars.
No, that's the Star Trek.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Next Star Wars is again J.J. Abrams.
Oh. So,
and he wants his Star Trek to be rated R.
So Star Trek.
Or he's not directing it.
So Quentin Tarantino is making a rated R Star Trek.
Yes.
Okay. None of this fucking shrooms crap. Fucking mycelium network. Again, we said this last podcast. I'll say it again. Fuck you to whoever wrote the newest season of Star Trek. Because it is terrible.
The new series?
Or,
Discovery?
Yeah, the new series. Star Trek Discovery is terrible.
It really is.
I mean, if you throw all facts and science out the window, yeah, it's a good-ish show. I mean, the acting's not very good.
Okay, so I found
the story plot's not that good either. Actually, no, it's a shitty show. any like saving graces it has. It has none. It's not even good. But what's it called, Jared?
The particle might be a neutrino. And they also mentioned tachyon.
Tachyon particles.
Which is also another Star Trek thing.
Tachyon particles, they were named after the thing from Star Trek.
Well, yeah, except they say that these things are like...
They move faster.
They move through time.
Yeah, but they move faster than the speed of light, which is why they move through time. But they always have to move faster. Basically, they had to be created before the speed of... in the Big Bang, before the speed
of light was defined.
Set. Yeah, basically. That's how it has to be created. So
in an instant of like less than measurable second.
Yeah.
That the Big Bang happened, these particles had to be created before space-time was a thing in the next fraction of a second.
Yeah, basically. But I just want to be able to have an interplanetary. First off, I want to be able to go to another planet.
Yeah. Vacation on this other star system.
Oh, did you see what was that one with Chris Pratt and Jennifer Lawrence? Travelers.
Yeah.
Or is it
Travelers?
What was it?
I'm pretty sure it was Travelers, but it doesn't sound right.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Look it up. But in that, they die. Sorry, spoilers. They're going to another planet, and they...
Passengers.
That's it. Yeah. Travelers is a TV show.
Yeah.
Which is actually pretty good, even though one piece of it makes no scientific sense, but the rest of it makes scientific sense. It's about time travel. Yeah. But, no, in that, I get they are doing it for story purposes. But if you're that far in the future where you're sending humans to other planets, first off, it's a private company sending humans to other planets, which I'm not okay with. Because, he can't get he can't get the fancy food. What the fuck? Just because he was poor, he can't get the fancy food. And this is very far in the future. Mm-hmm. And they're putting people in the cryo sleep, and he accidentally comes out of cryo sleep because, spoiler, they get hit by a small meteoroid that hits into the mainframe.
And that's discovered in third plot or the third act.
The third act of the friggin' movie. But he wakes up another passenger and doesn't tell her for a while, but blah, blah, blah. They fall in love, blah, blah, blah. He's allowed to have the fancy food because she's one of the rich passengers, which is the one win.
Yeah.
But they save the ship. Long story short, they live out their lives on the ship and die because it's 100 years until they get there.
Yeah, it was a very predictable ending.
Yeah. But, dude, nanobots. They didn't have to die. They could have just lived forever, as young as they look, forever, until they get to the planet. They never got to see the new planet. What the fuck? That's lame. But, it's a new planet, and I want to be able to go to a new planet, but it'd make more sense if you can make people live
longer,
thousands of years, not forever. Obviously, you can't live forever.
Forever
is a long fucking time.
The end of forever would be awful.
Yeah, eventually you're just gonna want to kill yourself.
And you may or may not be able to.
1,000,000 years, that's a little long. But a few thousand years, that seems reasonable, right?
Yeah, that sounds like as long as.
And you can go to other planets and stuff, and obviously with no mental or physical degradation because nanobots. Mm-hmm. So no diseases, none of that stuff. But I would go if they were to send people to other planets. It would be great if you could keep it the same people who are going, because having kids in space not a very good idea.
Yeah.
And the design for their spaceship. Sorry.
That weird twisty corkscrew thing?
Yeah. It doesn't make sense, does it?
There's a lot of wasted space.
Yeah.
Just saying.
But also because the gravity doesn't work. Does it?
If they're on the outside, it can bend around the ship however it wants to, as long as the floor is on the outside of the ship.
But that's not...
Or the outside wall.
I mean, that's not how they were doing it, though. Oh, wait, no, maybe it was.
It was. Yeah, that's how they were doing it.
Sorry, different. I'm thinking of Wall-E. The Wall-E ship is wrong.
No, the Wall-E ship is very wrong.
Yeah, no. But...
Some sort of graviton emissions for that one.
Yeah, gravitons don't exist, by the way. We tried to find them. They're not real. Because there's no particle that controls...
There's no particle to bend that is controlling space-time.
Yeah, because everything has gravity. So,
yeah,
obviously, it's not a particle that is making gravity. It is the waves. And all particles are waves, which is part of string theory. But string theory is also wrong.
This is a different kind of wave.
Yes. But string theory is apparently also wrong. But it's not. It's the closest to being right we've come. It's like...
We can work out the kinks.
It's 0.99. It's 99.999999998% correct. And that is actually how correct it is. Because I just watched a video by Kurtzagat. Is it Kurtzagat?
Something like that, but I know I've watched the channel.
Yeah. They did a video on string theory, and they explained how it's mostly correct, but it's 0.00000000002% wrong. So, you know, it's a complicated universe, Jared.
Yeah.
And
they're working on figuring it all out, but we've only been doing that for like
quantum field theory
less than 1,000 years.
Very close to being
quantum theory.
Quantum field theory.
Quantum field. Yeah.
That maybe like they basically took string theory, or they put quantum particle theory, and they were like, oh, what's more complex than a particle? A line. So it's string theory, and they applied the math to a line. Well, why not just go another dimension and make it sphere theory? Or medium theory. I don't know, like it's a wave through a medium, like a
that'd be
sound wave.
That'd be plane theory if it's another dimension.
Oh yeah, no, so plane theory, yeah. Well, but we're in
3 dimensions.
3 dimensions.
3.5.
3.5. Yeah. Let's get off this topic.
Yeah, we need to stop.
We talked about that. We need to stop talking about theoretical physics because we are not theoretical physicists.
Not even close.
We're interested in it. We find it very interesting.
Yeah.
But we have
and if we can
idea.
get a theoretical physicist on this show,
yeah, we'd ask every question in the world. Like,
exactly.
If you're a theoretical physicist and want to come on our show, ask us. We actually have places to sit other than a car now.
Yeah.
But, you know, and that's what's nice about being able to record it anywhere and having a good microphone that'll work anywhere and is portable. You can do it in a car and you can go to the person you're interviewing. But, yeah, you know, no, I said we were getting off of that.
What were you talking about before that?
Living 1,000 years.
Yeah.
Would you want to live a few thousand years?
A few thousand at the maximum.
I think I'd want to live for more than that, actually. And like 10,000 years would be good.
I mean, like, if everything... Because the perspective I'm coming from is just what I know exists. And, like, when there's new technologies being released thousands of years from now, of course I'd want to live longer to see that stuff.
Well, yeah, I'd like to go to a different planet in that time, though.
Mm-hmm.
Like, see, or at least a few different planets. We go to Mars. Whoops. Like, go to Mars, go to one of Jupiter's moons, which isn't a planet.
Titan
might as well
whatever.
be. They're so big, they might as well be planets.
Isn't it Titan that might have life?
Yeah, because it's got
volcanic and ocean-like.
Well, no, it's covered in ice, and then beneath it has water. Beneath the ice.
Yeah, and it's volcanic.
It's not volcanic. It's because it's entirely water.
No, it's not entirely water.
I thought it was entirely water.
No, it's being stretched by Saturn.
Yeah,
That's why it has volcanic activity under the ocean.
Oh, How deep are the oceans, though?
They're I don't know. I'm gonna try this without Google.
No, don't guess. You'll make a fool of yourself.
I will get it way off. So
yeah.
Let's see.
Actually, you know what? Let's keep talking about technology, but let's move over to stuff that's coming out.
Okay.
New phones. This is relevant to you.
It is.
You need a new one. Just wait a tiny bit until they have the 100% screen to body ratio phones. I can't wait for that. Like it'll just look like it'll be so cool looking. Like I have the LG V30, which has very high screen to body ratio. There's no buttons on the front or anything, but it's not 100%. It's like 89%. But I can't wait. They're gonna make a phone that has 98%. That's coming out this year, and then obviously next year they'll have 100% screen to body ratio phones. And also bendable phones, and like a Samsung Galaxy X is supposed to be a foldable phone, but I don't need a fucking foldable phone. It's like a flip phone, except entirely made out of screen. Except I don't need that, because how the hell are you supposed to watch a YouTube video on that? Like that one other foldable phone that has two different screens. That seems like an actually better idea than the Galaxy X's idea. But if they could do that with a screen that folds all the way around, do you know which one I'm talking about? It folds like a book.
Yeah.
Instead of like a flip phone, which makes it super freaking. It's insanely long. It's excessively long. If they could make it super, no, I'm not even going to talk about that. I don't know what they're going to do, but it's probably not going to be. It's going to be the first iteration, so it's not going to be very good.
Yeah.
But the 100% screen to body ratio phones are basically as far as you can go with smartphones without increasing battery life to like a week or like 2. If anyone could do 2 days, that would be great. But like a week would be good.
Mm-hmm.
Where you don't never have to worry about battery life and then charge it up super fast. But that won't happen until they make a carbon. What is it?
The
graphene. Is it graphene or it's graphene. Graphene batteries. Those will be really good. Really lightweight and really energy dense.
Mm-hmm.
And then AI in phones. I kind of can't wait, but I kind of can. Have you seen the movie Her?
No.
You know what it's about, though?
Yeah, you said it sucked.
I didn't say it sucked.
You did.
It was not amazing, but everybody loved it except me. It was just dumb-ish. I mean, it was kind of futurist, and a guy played by shit.
A guy played a person who fell in love with this AI on his phone.
Yeah, with his operating system.
Yeah. It is not on my list of movies to watch.
Yeah, I just watched it because it was a technology-based movie, so whatever. But Jennifer Lawrence, or not Jennifer, Scarlett Johansson played the operating system, and she was dating 50 other people or something like that. But yeah, that's what you can do when you're an operating system, I guess. Date 50 people at once. But I like to look at the positives of Black Mirror and not the negatives of Black Mirror. Like, did you see
the technology that's available, but not how it turns out?
Like, what was the black and white episode? Did you see that one yet?
No.
With the robot killer dogs?
No, I haven't seen that. That's season 4.
We need to make automated. We already have them basically, but we need to make fully autonomous weapons. War crime, illegal, completely. You cannot have fully autonomous weapons because that's just there's no humanity in it at all.
Hang on, if you start fighting a war with robots, there's almost no point of
Yeah, there's no point in it. It's
There's
just
no
throwing
point.
money away.
Yeah, there's no longer any point of, like, surrendering or...
Yeah, it's just robots against robots. But if it's robots against humans, then you're just going to demolish them.
Yeah.
It'd be the equivalent of nuclear weapons, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Which
It's
is
hard
why
to kill a robot.
nuclear weapons are war crimes. The dog has shown up again, and he wants to be pet. Hi, doggy. Yeah. Oh, he just flapped his ears.
Probably sounds fluffier than he actually is.
Yeah. Go away, doggy. You need to go lay down. His name is Yoda, for if you want to know how big of nerds we are.
Oh, jeez, he
Oh
moves
my
the
God.
microphone.
Stop. Nope. Not okay. There you go.
Go through.
Go. Go lay down.
Go on. No, that way.
Go lay
That
down.
way.
Go lay down.
Go.
Go.
Please go that way.
Go. Okay. But yeah. And he's back. Okay,
You just walked around the table.
I'll just pet you. Okay, there you go. There you go, doggy. Now, yes, his name is Yoda, and his sister's name is Chiona, which apparently means crybaby, because she she whines a lot over nothing. But they're very big dogs. And he doesn't look like Yoda. He looks like Chewbacca.
Exactly.
Why'd you name him Yoda?
No idea.
I thought he was named Chewbacca at first. Like, he was named Chewbacca at first.
Which is weird. I don't know.
When he was a puppy, he was Chewbacca.
It might have something to do with the fact that my mom wanted to watch the Star Wars movies starting with Episode 1. And Chewbacca was not introduced until, 4, except he was in 3 as, a little Easter egg.
Okay, then. Well, the prequels, I don't hate them.
No, they're watchable, but they're not the best.
They're not amazing. But then again, the old ones aren't amazing either. But they have, if you go back and rewatch them and look at them in a political sense, they came out right after and they were being made during Vietnam War.
Mm-hmm.
And they're super anti-war. If you look at them, the terrorists, which is what we called the Vietnamese, the Viet Cong, we called them terrorists. The terrorists are the rebels.
Yeah.
So...
We're rooting for the bad guys.
Yeah, they're literally rooting for the terrorists. They literally blow up the Death Star, which has, billions of people on it.
And not only was it just an Imperial base and a giant weapon, people lived there.
Yeah, that was people's homes. They literally killed a billion people.
And it's not just a military operation. They had,
there
a
were
whole
cooks.
City in there,
yeah,
with things to keep people from getting bored, like movie theaters.
Yeah, there was just a chef.
There were people working there that never even saw, anywhere near the exterior of the station.
Yeah, but the rebels,
the janitor,
But we feel for them, the rebels, because. It's the Empire. The Empire's evil.
Exactly.
And the Empire is literally the United States in that movie.
I
know they're played by British people.
Yeah.
But everyone's played by British people in that movie.
Yeah.
And it's also a reference to...
Except they do rule by fear and only fear.
It's also a reference to the American Civil War, though.
Uh-huh.
When the Americans were literally the rebels.
Yeah.
And they, they were called terrorists by the United States. The rebels in the United States were called, or not the United States, by the British Empire. They were called terrorists. We've called every, or the equivalent of terrorists. Everybody uses that word.
Yeah.
And now you look at
if you are going against the established government, that makes you a terrorist.
Yeah, and basically, we blame people in the Middle East, they're so terrible. How dare they fight against the United States? We're trying to liberate them. You blew up their house with their family.
Yeah.
You killed their entire family, and you expect them not to fight you? Let's say Mexico I know it's never gonna happen, but let's say Mexico were to drone bomb New Mexico. You think we wouldn't go to war with Mexico?
No, we would annihilate Mexico.
Yeah, but let's say just the state of New Mexico.
Exactly.
If the states weren't aligned or anything, and Mexico attacked New Mexico with drones.
And say we don't have the nation's largest nuclear arsenal.
Yeah, let's say we don't. You think we want to go, like, let's say I go to the store and I come back home and, your house is gone and your mom and your dad and your grandma and your siblings and all of them
everyone
are dead.
You know.
Are dead because drones. By the way, drones should not be allowed. I mean, you don't, whatever.
What kind of drone? Like, weaponized drones or just people flying
weaponized drones, obviously. Like, people flying drones, they're cool, but weaponized drones should not be allowed. But, yeah, no, you think you wouldn't devote the rest of your life to destroying the Mexican government, which killed your entire family? Of course you would. That's the logical thing to do.
Yeah.
So therefore, the people in the Middle East who are fighting the United States are just doing the logical thing. You can't really blame them. So, yeah. That's our political discussion for the day.
Yep, done with politics for the day.
Except part of Star Wars. You know when they're being crushed by the
trash compactor?
The trash compactor? That's entirely representative of how, like, the middle class in America, or the middle and lower class in America, or any really empirical country feels. Because, you're just being crushed by the rich and the powerful. Uh-huh. They're literally being crushed by the rich and the powerful.
Yeah. And completely by accident, too.
Yeah, and lots of symbolism in the original Star Wars movies. Not so much in the prequels. I mean, other than Jar Jar Binks being a slave. It's like, me some master. Like, that was the most racist.
No, they weren't slaves. They played that off as his god says that he has to be his slave now.
Yeah, except also, and that's what. Hold up. That's what we did to slaves. We said, God said you have to be our slaves, so if you don't be our slaves, and if you don't be a good slave, then you're going to go to hell. That's literally what they said, and it does say that in the Bible. So that's literally how they justified it to the slaves.
Yeah.
I mean, they also beat the shit out of them if they didn't. So, So yeah, slavery's bad. Okay. Okay. Wait. Rick and Morty. Let's talk about Rick and Morty for a second.
Thought you were going over to South Park because
nope.
Okay.
Yeah. No. Wait. I just remembered because of slavery. You remember the episode where it's you're having people work just to power your car back.
That's like slavery with extra steps.
Oh, someone's getting laid in college. Or it's like Jeep Glorp Glorp. Someone's getting laid in college.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a funny episode. And then the third one down just rams this. Wait, the universe where my father died, and I couldn't make enough time for my family. is inside the universe. Inside the battery. That powers his car battery. Well, just run my freaking
ship into
the mountain, and then leave them there with the tribes inside his tiny verse, which he made. Yeah, that Rick and Morty, smartest show on TV by a mile. It's so good. So what is your favorite TV show?
Rick and Morty's way up there. South Park's way up there.
Yeah, Rick and Morty and South Park are just so high up there. But then
those are the shows that I get really excited for when they come out.
Yeah.
But also the Orville.
The Orville's amazing. I can't wait for it to come back. people were shitting on it at first, but then everybody else was like, "No, it's so fucking good."
It is better than the Star Trek show that is on right now.
It's significantly better. We're just gonna hate on that Star Trek episode.
It's modernized
show forever.
Yeah, it's modernized Star Trek Next Generation.
No, it's modernized original Star Trek.
No, it's more Next Generation. Even the design of the ship is based off.
Well, yeah, but I think the original Star Trek is more the political discussions that they go into is more like it. I mean, then again, they haven't encountered
the original yet, series is more like fist fighting.
I thought it was more political.
No, Next Generation's way more political than the original. There's a lot of fist fights in the original.
Well, it's like, the Orville is like just compressing everything great about Star Trek, and all the Star Treks and all those sci-fi movies into one show, plus it's funny as shit.
Yeah.
And it's Seth MacFarlane. Who doesn't love Seth MacFarlane? I mean, Family Guy.
Family Guy died a while ago.
Yeah, it's accurate. But like,
especially when he killed the character where it's like his actual voice.
Yeah, the Cleveland show wasn't amazing.
I never saw it.
Yeah, and American Dad isn't my favorite, but Seth MacFarlane himself is hilarious.
Stop breathing in the microphone.
Yeah, you gotta go that way. Go on. Go, leave.
Thank you.
Over here. There you go. Good doggy. Go lay down. There you go. Okay, he's gone now. But yeah, Seth MacFarlane's very entertaining, and he's back. Okay, Yoda. No, you need to go. You need to go. No. You need to go. You need to go away. Go away. I'm gonna put my leg here. You can't. No. Oh. Go away. Oh, he's giving the puppy dog eyes. He's like, why you want
He's gotten very good at the puppy dog eyes.
Jonah's gotten very good at the leave me the fuck alone right now eyes. Yeah, she's getting pissed off at Neo. By the way, we got another dog and named her Neo, except her name is Neoma, which is supposed to be new moon because she has a crescent-shaped white spot on her chest and she's mostly black. But it's like, I'm just going to call her Neo, because Neoma is, like, too long. But Neo, like, as in Neo from The Matrix.
Yeah.
Which is a much better name. But, yeah, so we call her Neo. And her and Shona get along kind of okay. They argue. Shona gets jealous when we pet Neo and not her.
She gets jealous if she sees another dog getting pet, even if she is getting pet too.
Yeah, she's like, hey, don't pet them, pet me. Come on, over here, pet me.
You have 2 hands.
Yeah.
And they could be on my back right now.
Exactly. But, let's get back to Star Trek.
Yeah.
Or how?
The Orville
The Orville. But, yeah, no, Rick and Morty, probably number 1. Number 2... South Park. Number 3, The Orville.
Mm-hmm.
And number 4, Black Mirror. Holy shit, Black Mirror.
I'd have to agree on that order.
Yeah, Black Mirror just leaves you saying, what the fuck? At the end of every episode. You know, Shut Up and Dance? You remember that episode?
That was so
messed up. Oh my god. If you haven't seen Shut Up and Dance, go watch it right now. It is fucking dark.
And that doesn't even need futuristic technology.
Yeah.
That happens now.
Yeah, that's all now technology.
That, pretty sure that might have actually happened a few times.
Maybe. You never know. Also, not Hated in the Nation, but the national anthem, the very first episode, that's now technology. Like, anybody could do that.
Mm-hmm.
Just kidnap the princess and send orders that you have to have sex with pig on live TV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not that hard.
No. Yeah, no, that's a that's scary. Also, what else is there? Like, Black Mirror is just so good, yet so dark, but so good. It does the reason why it's like the Twilight Zone in that it doesn't resolve like most TV shows, especially TV shows that or TV shows that are like movies where each episode is completely different. And all TV shows, all stories really, they create a problem. They go to the climax of that problem, or they start out with actually they show you how normal life is, and then they create a problem, and then tell you what the solution to that problem is, and then a resolution. Except
Exactly.
Black Mirror shows you how life is, creates a problem, creates a bigger problem, and then that's where it ends. And it's just like, what the fuck?
Yeah, someone does something wrong accidentally, you think they're gonna talk themselves out of jail, they go to jail.
Yeah, no, it's like, no, there's no resolution.
And that's putting it without spoilers.
In a lot of the episodes, there's no winners, which, you
Very
want there to be a winner.
The episodes are winners.
Yeah, no, there's no characters that
I know,
win.
that's what I meant.
Like, nobody wins in most of the episodes. It's just like, yeah, no, life is shit now. Good luck.
There is an episode where they die, but technically they win.
Oh, the first episode of the fourth season? You've seen that one, right?
It's the first episode of which season?
Fourth season?
Fourth? Oh, yeah, I've seen that.
The one that's making fun of Star Trek?
Mm-hmm. That was...
that one was... Whoa.
Yeah.
The fuck?
I know.
But the guy who writes it must be afraid of being trapped in a computer. Because, like, a fourth of the episodes are about being trapped inside of a computer. Oh, you need to see the last episode. Black Museum.
Oh, I'm going to get on
good.
that.
Yeah. Like, it's just referencing every single episode of Black Mirror.
I think I'm like 3 episodes into Black Mirror, or season 4 of Black Mirror.
But it confirms that every single story exists in the same universe in Black Mirror.
Oh.
Yeah. So all those stories, same universe, different people, different stories.
Different times.
Maybe. But same universe.
I'd say they're at different points in time.
Yeah, different.
Jumping all over the place.
Yeah. But the one that is really weird is the black and white episode. It's...
Yeah, I haven't seen that one.
I can't remember what it's called. But it's... That one does not leave you happy. It's just depressing. It's just... I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but it's fucking dark. And because it's black and white. And it fades to black. But, what else is there in Black Mirror? What other episodes that really leave you just saying, what the fuck?
I have to remember all the episodes.
Yeah. And there aren't that many, though.
I know.
There were like 6 the last season, right?
Something like that.
Yeah. But,
one episode I can't remember the name of. I didn't even finish it, and I can't remember what happened in the beginning.
Okay. And?
Yeah.
But
I think it's the one you said that you watched like 4 times and still can't remember what happened.
Oh, that's Hated in the Nation. Yeah, no.
I didn't finish that one.
That one's the military one. I finally remember what happens. It's a military one where a guy, he's in the military, but they use augmented reality to make killing people easier.
Oh, is that the one?
Yeah,
because I finished that one.
Oh, okay. That's the one I couldn't remember for shit. Because it didn't have a huge impact on me, but when you think about it, yeah, that's really fucked up. Like, they use augmented reality.
They make it look like these people with
they have a disease.
With a slight difference in DNA that, like, does something, they're higher cancer risk or whatever.
Well, no, it's they look like...
and it makes them look...
like bugs, basically.
Yeah, and they call them roaches.
Yeah, they call them roaches, but it makes them look kind of like giant bugs.
Yeah.
But they're just people. And
they look normal. They're just people.
And one guy's AI or augmented reality thing fails, and
he starts saving them.
And he sees that they're humans, and he's like, "What the fuck?"
Well, he doesn't see that these are roaches. He says that these are humans, not roaches. Roaches are somewhere else.
Yeah, and then
he still thinks roaches
and he
exist.
kills one of the. He kills like another military member because she's about to kill one of the people that is supposedly. They're just poor people, but they use augmented reality to make the soldiers think that they're like monsters, basically, and make them easier to kill.
Yeah.
So basically, it's like it's kind of like how the Nazis were just following orders, except these people are just following orders, but they don't know what they're doing.
Exactly.
That's the ultimate form of control to a person.
Yeah, and to make sure that they keep doing that, if they defect, they can remotely play back what they've done, but show them as people.
Yeah, that's just fucked up. So that was a dark episode. Let's go to another dark TV show that's better. Or not better. It's not better. It's good, but not better. But the recent season was okay. They're just trying to finish it. Oh. Game of Thrones.
Oh.
Have you seen?
I said in the last episode.
I can't remember what
that
you said.
I watched the first 3 episodes of the series.
Yeah. You gotta get through the.
And that's it.
Once you get to the end of the first season, you're hooked. No matter if you like it or not. Because it's just the end of the first season leaves you wanting more and saying what the fuck. But what are some other good TV shows that I have not seen? I've been looking for good TV shows. I've started watching Peaky Blinders, but it's not that good. I'm in season 3 and it's not amazing. It's okay, but it's not amazing.
Now, I said in the last episode that I watched The Walking Dead. I will say it's not as good as it used to be. Because, they're running out of stories, but they're trying to tell a story of what happens when there's no cure for the zombies and, once civilization gets set up again, kind of. Yeah. Without any more enemies. I feel like that's when the show will end or AMC cancels it. But they're likely not going to because it's still their highest rating show on cable.
Yeah, I'm thinking of going back and watching The Wire because I never watched The Wire.
I never watched that either.
Yeah, but supposedly it's the best show ever. It's about cops and gangs and stuff, and I have no idea where, but it's The Wire. But supposedly it's really good, and I have yet to see it. And also The Sopranos, which is the mob. I haven't watched that either. But those are older, amazing TV shows that I have yet to watch. There's also I don't think I could go back and watch a lot of the of what's it called? It's like Black Mirror. I just referenced it. Shit.
Listen to the recording later and be like.
And be like.
Yeah. Stop saying and be like.
Yeah, them like. We need to use proper grammar. Okay. I've noticed that since moving away from California, we've started to have somewhat of a New Mexican accent. I never thought of New Mexico as having an accent. Texas has an accent. People in Arizona don't really have an accent unless they're in southern Arizona. Yeah. But I've never really noticed myself as having an accent until recently. I'm like, do I have a fucking accent? I don't want to have an accent.
Yeah, I realized that we used to hear California people talk normal.
Well, I still hear them talk normally, but now I hear like a slight little like it's like a mix between California and like a slight tinge of Texas accent, and I don't like it.
I've never noticed that, but yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so I need to move back to California to get rid of that. But actually, I'd like to, if we ever do live on a sailboat, because I would love to live on a sailboat, going all the way back.
Yeah.
Coming all the way around. I'd actually like to live in Hawaii for a while, because first off, living in Hawaii is super expensive, but if you live on a sailboat, less expensive. And Hawaii is super nice. It's like and I took one of those what do you like to do? What are your hobbies? What do you find interesting? What are your values? Kind of
a quiz that tells you where to travel.
Tells you what state you should live in.
Oh.
And Hawaii, obviously, was the answer, or California, or New York.
Interesting.
But I'm not a huge fan of. I'd like to go to New York because New York's really cool. But I don't know if I want to.
I've never seen it, but I don't want to live there.
Yeah, no, it's super expensive and
too crowded, too many cars.
Yeah, and not enough cars for people.
Yeah. And also, I only see when I think of New York, I only think of New York City. I know there's a bunch of empty places that's just farmland.
Yeah, but that's boring. I mean, kind of. But I'd like to, go to New York, have real New York pizza instead of like people saying, "Oh, this is New York style pizza." Like, no, I want.
There's New York style pizza, and there's New York pizza.
Yeah, I want to go to New York and have the New York pizza made with the New York water and the New York, everything New York about it. Have the $1 slice and then go down the road and have the fucking $10 pizza or $10 slice. And they have giant $1 slices there. And in I think, is it New York or is it in Philadelphia where they have a thing? It's a thing where they take a $1 slice of pizza that's a foot long slice of pizza, and then they put a foot long Philly cheesesteak inside of it, in the middle of it, and they fold the pizza around the outside of the Philly cheesesteak, and they eat the whole thing. And that's a thing. That's an actual thing.
Can't quite picture how that tastes.
I don't know. I feel like it wouldn't be bad, but it wouldn't. I know,
but I'm also having trouble figuring if it's
like good. They had Philly cheesesteak topped pizzas, where they put the steak and the cheese. Well, it's steak, cheese, and peppers. So that's basically a steak and peppers pizza.
Yeah. With
a lot of bread. And oil and mayo and but I don't know. I'd like to go to New York just to see New York because I haven't been to New York ever. I've been to I haven't been east of the Mississippi River since we lived in frickin' Wisconsin, or since I lived in Wisconsin.
Yeah, I never lived in Wisconsin.
Yeah, and I was really little then. So I've not been east of the Mississippi River basically since I can remember. I can remember going to Niagara Falls once. That's about it. And also living in Wisconsin, but that's it. That's all I can remember. And I'd like to see all that stuff, but I'm starting to yawn, so I think it's about time that we...
It's almost time. If we want to finish exactly 2 hours, we got
Nah, fuck it. Well,
8 minutes?
Nah. I see why Kyle and Corin almost never go past 2 hours, because talking for 2 hours, you kind of run out of shit to say.
Yeah.
Like an hour and 45 is where you start to run out of stuff. If we had someone who was interesting here, other than us, who are not very interesting. But if we had someone interesting here, we could probably talk for longer. Like Joe Rogan talks for like fucking 3 hours or more with interesting guests. But yeah, I think this is a good time. An hour 50.
Yeah.
Okay,
then.
we're gonna say goodbye. The end of the second podcast. If you like listening to us yammer for 2 hours, then subscribe to our podcast. If not, then please still subscribe to our podcast. We need all the subscriptions we can get right now.
Yeah.
Okay. Bye.